Hello everyone! Today in social studies/science we talked about wants versus needs. So if you needed a little extra help understanding the content or you are missing from school today, you have come to the right place. This is going to be some excellent review over what we did today. So like I said, we learned about wants versus needs. So what we covered first was what is a want? So a want is something that you would like to have, but you do not need it to survive. So it's something that you are really wanting, but your survival doesn't depend on it. You don't have to have it. So if you can think of an example of a want, go ahead and write that in your first section on your homework sheet. And if you are just doing this for extra review, I have a PDF uploaded for you. As well, you can print it off or come to me for the sheet and you can fill it out just for extra practice. But if you are gone today, you will need to fill this out and turn it in to me when you come back to school. So here are some examples of wants: an iPad, a TV, a computer, candy, pop, a vacation, a camera, video games, a car, and toys. So these are all things that people want, but they don't necessarily need it to survive. So yes, it may be nice to have an iPad to play your games on, or to check the weather, or to call your friends, but do you need it to survive? No, you can survive without it. Same with a camera. Of course, we love to have cameras to take pictures of moments in time, but we don't have to have one to survive. We could survive without one. So if you can think of some more wants, go ahead and write them in the second section on your homework sheet. So if you can think of anything in your house that is a want, go ahead and write that. So next we have needs. So what is a need? A need is something that we need to survive. So the wording on that is a little tricky, but it's something that is essential to living. So you need it. If you don't have it, you could die, or eventually probably will. So if you can think of a need before I give you the list, go ahead and write it on section 3 of the homework sheet. Next, we have some examples of some needs. Our first example is food. The second one's water. The third is air. The fourth is shelter. The fifth is a house, which is a form of shelter. Next, we have fruit, vegetables, examples of food, oxygen, protein, and clothing. See, clothing can kind of be debatable because there are some people who do not wear clothes and they survive. But where we are at, if you didn't wear clothes in the winter time, you would probably die because you would be too cold. So clothing here in Nebraska is a need instead of a want. If you can think of any more needs, go ahead and type your responses if you're doing this on a computer, or go ahead and write them down on the homework sheet in the 4th section. It'll be really interesting to see what everyone comes up with for their wants and needs that they can think of on their own. All right, now we have a little matching game that I'm going to do with you guys. So you can go ahead and think in your head, or you can write down on the sheet of paper in the 5th section beforehand if you would like, or you can do it together with me while I'm speaking. All right, so first we have pants. So pants are going to be a need because we need pants or we will be cold. Video games are going to be a want. We do not need video games to survive. We can survive without them. They're fun to play, but we don't need them to survive. Our next thing on the list is water. So water is going to be a need. We need water to survive. We have to drink it. Our next thing on the list is oxygen. Oxygen is a need. We need it to breathe. The next one on the list is candy. So remember, candy is going to be a want. We do not need candy to survive, even though it's super tasty. Next on the list, we have fruit. Fruit is going to be a need. We need fruit to survive. There's lots of vitamins and minerals in fruit that are really good for our bodies. The next thing on the list is a house. A house is a need. We need shelter to survive. We would not survive in the elements. We would not survive the cold, the extreme heat, all the drastic weather changes around here. We would not be able to survive them. All right, next on the list we have an iPad. An iPad is a want, even though it can be really nice and fun to play with. It is definitely a want. Toys. Toys are a want. We don't need them to survive. We will not die without toys. A camera is also a want. We do not need it to survive. All right, so make sure you have this copied down. Next, we are going to play a little bit of a game where we are going to guess if the image is a want or a need. So here we have a picture of food. So food is going to be a want or a need, do you think? Go ahead and think about it for a few seconds. Is it a want or a need? So food is going to be a need. We need food to survive, especially these foods in here. We need carbohydrates, vegetables, fruits, dairy products. We need all of it to survive. The next image that we have is water. Is water going to be a want or a need? Go ahead and write it down on your sheet of paper. So water is going to be a need. We need water to survive. We need to drink it. The next thing on the list is video games. So are video games a want or a need? Go ahead and write it on your sheet of paper. Video games are a want. We do not need video games to survive, although they are very fun. Next on the list we have clothes. Are clothes a want or a need? Go ahead and think about it and write it on your paper. So clothes are a need. We need clothing, otherwise we would be too cold and we would not survive outside. So the next image we have is a house or shelter. Do we need a house or shelter to survive? Is it a want or a need? So shelter is going to be a need. We need shelter to survive. So go ahead and write that on your piece of paper. Our last example is going to be toys. So go ahead and think, are toys a want or are toys a need? Go ahead and write it on your paper. Toys are a want. We do not need toys to survive. They are just for fun. And sure, they make the time pass by, but we don't need them to survive. So great work, everyone. Make sure that you turn in your assignment as soon as you come back to school. And if you were doing this just for extra practice, then you can bring your assignment also back to school and I will look over it for you. It won't be graded, but I will give a rough grade for it and then hand it back to you guys so you guys will know what your grade is. So thank you for watching and let me know if you guys have any more questions.